this is Wanda from Wanda's Creations coming to you today for a quick tutorial on how to use Iron Orchid design transfers. As you can see here, I am using the newest transfer, Lost Garden. This is from their 2025 spring collection, and these are just pieces that I had. These were sheets that I had cut out. I had already used part of the sheet, and so I'm going to use the rest of it on this tray that my husband built. And so as you can see, I'm just kind of laying it out, seeing how I would like the transfers to look, where I would like to have them on the tray. I'm thinking at this point in time to put them on where the handles are going to go. I'm just kind of looking at the design and how it all goes together and whether I like that or not. And right here I'm just showing you that there's an edge on these transfers. And so in order to get the transfer to be close to the edge of the tray, I needed to trim that off. So there are grid lines on these transfers which make it really easy to cut a straight line. And I'm still thinking at this point in time that I was going to put it on the handles, but then I decided to drop the transfer down and to look at it from that perspective, and this is what I decided to go with. I still have the white backer on it, and because once you peel that back, the transfers are very sticky, and so I wouldn't be able to move them around as easily if I had done that. I would be ripping the images right off. They would be sticking where I wouldn't want them. So here you can see that I'm just trimming on the other piece, the edge, like I did the first piece, so that when I lay that down, it will go right up to where the handles are going to be placed on the inside of the tray. So now that I've decided where I want this first page to go, I'm going to pull off the white backer, carefully not touching the images that you can see on the back side. Those are the transfers, so you don't want to touch them, get your skin oils on them, or get dirt on them, because then they won't release from the sticky part onto your project. Just kind of rubbing my hand across, securing it. And this is the applicator stick. This comes with every single transfer that IOD has. It comes in the package, and I'm just rubbing the stick across all of the floral and stems that's part of this transfer. You can see here I'm trying to lift up a section of the transfer. This creates tension. So when you lift the plastic part and you rub your stick down, it almost forces the image to pop off the sticky part and get onto your project. You'll see as I go along that I do that I lift up the plastic. I've sped it up for you because this is quite a process, and you don't need to see me doing every single flower, so I sped it up for you, but you can still see what I'm doing. All of this transfer is beautiful. It has a lot of great floral detail in it, so I'm being extra careful. You can see now that I've started lifting up that plastic part. And the great thing about it is if when you lift it up, if part of the transfer comes with your plastic piece, just lay it back down, rub your applicator stick across it, and it should pop right onto your project. You want to make sure that what you put these transfers on is, if it's a painted surface, that you've sealed the project before you put the transfer on with a water-based sealer. Here you can see that I finished up the first sheet, and I'm going to fold the plastic sheet and just rub it across the top. This is called burnishing, and this is so that you can make sure that all of the edges within the transfer are attached to your project. So for the surface that you'll want to make sure, if you do paint the project and you seal it, that you've let the sealer dry for at least 12 hours before you try to put the transfer on. Otherwise, if your sealer isn't dried, then the transfer could lift up your paint, and that's a lot of work for nothing. This particular project, I used DIY Cottage Colors, which has a built-in sealer, and this is called white linen, what I've used. And so I did paint that, and I let it dry. Well, I let it dry for probably about 2 weeks, but not because of wanting to have it dry for this transfer. It's just because I had done these for some other project, and I just didn't use them for that. So I said, well, I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to do a transfer on a very easy surface. Of course, if you're going to put the transfer on glass, like a window or a mirror, you don't need to seal anything. You just need to make sure that the surface of the window or the mirror is very clean, or the glass is very clean. Put the transfer on, and then you just leave it as is. If you try to seal a window with a transfer on it, it's going to look cloudy. So that's not what you'd want to do. And these transfers, if you did put it on a window, you couldn't use window cleaner to clean where the transfer is. You would want to just lightly dust it. So that's some helpful hints for you if you're learning how to do this. You've never tried it. It's very easy. You just have to try it. And if you didn't want to use it on a big piece like what I have here, then just cut out some little pieces out of a transfer and try it on a small project first. When I was using my hands, I was showing you I'm layering these transfers. So in the middle, they lay across each other. And that was me just telling you that you can overlap these transfers. So they work very well doing that. And here I go with the applicator stick again. Here you can see that as I have attached the transfers, my plastic was getting a little bit cumbersome, so I just trimmed it back where there were no transfers that still needed to be applied, just so I can lift it up easier, creating that tension so the image will fall away from the plastic. Just getting the last little bit. There. Now I had contemplated using other parts of Lost Garden on the handles, and that's what you see me doing here. I just took the sheet. I just wanted to share this with you so that you could see you can cut those images out and use all of it or as little as you want out of it. That's what's great about these transfers. And just when you're doing that, keep the white backer on it like I had said. And I'm just kind of laying it out, looking at it and thinking, well, do I want to do that or not? Knowing that I'm going to put handles on there. And I opted not to add these to where the handles are going to go. So this one is another one of their new transfers. It's called, I'm not going to get the pronunciation right, but it's called Wild Lomond or something like that. And it has a lot of small flowers, a lot of butterflies and birds. It's beautiful. And so I decided to pull 2 butterflies from this transfer to add to where the handles are going to go. They have similar coloring so that they were easy to mix and match. You can see I'm just laying it out. I'm going to do the same process. And see, this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying a small. You could take a butterfly from this and try it on a small piece and feel how these transfers work. And here I'm showing you that now that I have the transfers down, it needs to be sealed. And I'm using DIY Big Top. And I'm going to apply the Big Top with a foam brush. So I'm just showing you that here. And I'm just putting the Big Top all over, making sure that my strokes are long. And I'm going to put 2 coats of the Big Top on. All over where the transfers are. And I put the foam brush in a zippy bag. This is a pro tip. So sometimes when you use sealers, especially the covers won't come off. If they're a screw top, they don't come off easily because the sealer has dried. So just take a little bit of Vaseline, petroleum jelly, and put it around the edge on the outside of your jar, and the cap will come off easier the next time you have to use it. See, I'm just showing you that. Just a little tip for you. So this is it. This is how simple it is to do transfers, and you can see how beautiful they are, how much they change a particular piece. And you can find these transfers within our spaces. We have 2 spaces, one Simply Blessed in Camden, Maine, and Mainly Mercantile in Bangor.